Hey guys, Henry here from Keto Capers. Now, this is our very first video, and I just want to let you know, thanks for watching. Now, what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be making our very own keto pizza base. And it's going to be having almond flour. We're also going to be putting a cup of cheese in there and a couple of other ingredients. Now, let's get started. This recipe came from a channel called Quitters Lose. Now, I have to give her credit for this because it's a really cool pizza base. Now, let's get started. I put a slight slant on it. She used just mozzarella cheese. I used 3 cheese, which is like called perfect pizza. Perfect pizza cheese. All right, so let's get into it. Now, keto doesn't have to be a really expensive project. Now, everything I bought here, with the exception of maybe one thing, is in fact a home brand item. Now, the almond flour that I'm using is in fact, it's a home brand one. It's a Coles home brand one called Wellness Road. I've got some olive oil here, which is Coles home brand olive oil. I've also got Coles tomato paste, which is also home brand. And we've also got some, Mackenzie's baking powder. And we also have some Coles cheese, which is the perfect pizza cheese. And also some Coles cream cheese. So these are all home brand things we're using here. So, and also got a little bit of salami here, which is not a Coles brand, but that's okay. So as you can see, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be quite cheap to be doing keto. So let's get into it. Okay, first thing we need to do is to put all the dry ingredients together. So that will entail putting the cream, putting the cheese, as well as the almond flour. We'll put all that together. And then we need to also get, I'll be putting half a teaspoon of baking powder in there. So I'll pop that in here as well. Now, we've got the dry ingredients. What we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be mixing this all together, the dry mix, just to make sure it all blends properly. And once I've done that, I'll be microwaving this for approximately 30 seconds. Now, on the instructions, she says 32 seconds, but I'm thinking 30 seconds is probably going to be close enough. So we'll just mix that together for the moment. It doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it softens it up. So let's put that into the microwave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a bowl, and then we can pop that in the microwave. So we'll put all this in here, and hopefully we can transfer it across to the bowl, to the microwave, and have it heat up appropriately and soften the ingredients up just enough to do what we need to do. Okay, we're going to be putting this straight into the microwave over here. Okay, let's have a look and see if this is good enough yet. See if this has softened it up. Okay, so let's have a look and see if this has softened it up enough. Well, it's softened it up somewhat. I might pop it in for another couple of seconds. Right, see how we go. Right, I'm going to transfer this back to this silver bowl. Silver bowl, silver bowl. It's Christmas time in the city. Not anymore, it's not. That's well and truly over. Alright, so. My son thought that was funny. He's actually on the other end of the camera. Okay, so. We're just going to be mixing that through like this. And that's nice, it's gluggy up. How good is that? Okay, cool. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be putting egg and cream cheese into this bowl here. And then we are going to mix them together very gently. Spoon. Now this happens to be 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. Now I might microwave that for 20 seconds or so, just to soften it up a little bit. It's not quite room temperature. So let's now mix this together in with the actual egg, and we'll see how it goes from here. Okay, cool. That's nice and soft now, so hopefully that will be at a better temperature and not so hot that it cooks the egg. So let's have a go at this. The egg and the cream cheese is coming together quite nicely. It doesn't matter if it's lumpy, because that is how it's meant to look for the moment. Now a lot of times people have keto pastries and it's usually just cream cheese or cheese of some kind, and quite often it's a mixture of cauliflower and other ingredients. But in this particular case, it's very simple. It's just cream cheese, cheese, and almond flour, and an egg. And once we mix all this together, we can then mix it through, stir it up, and it'll be something we can turn into a ball. So just mix that through together, and then we'll turn that into a dough. And once that is set and ready to go, and as you can see, it's turning into a dough very quickly. Have a look at that. Have a look at that. That's turning into a dough very, very nicely. That is almost ready. That is gorgeous. All right, look at that. That is what it's meant to look like. Nice. Okay, now what we are going to do is I'm going to get some parchment paper, as the Americans call it, or as we in Australia say, greaseproof paper. I'm going to place this down on the bench just here. Now, they also recommend that you line it with a bit of oil. So, because this is brand spanking new, I'm just going to chuck a little bit of oil on this. And so I'll just spread this around on the paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm then going to get hold of this pastry, and we're going to be putting it straight onto this dab of oil. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flatten that out. We're going to try and make it into a circular shape. Now to do that, we can do it several ways, but because I'm not as proficient at this as some people, I may need to sort of muck around with it a bit. So to do that, I'm going to grab another piece of paper. Now I'm going to try and do this, and hopefully with some greaseproof paper this time. What I'm going to do is grab hold of some more paper, but this time I'm going to grease this paper up before I put it back on top of that. Okay, so now that I've done this, I have greased the paper, and we're going to place that over the top here, and we're going to squish that down where we can. Okay, so I'm going to try and get that as good as I can, and we're going to try, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do myself a little favour. I'm going to use that little rolling pin that my darling wife gave me. I'm going to squish that down just a little bit, but I'm not going to be doing quite what everybody else did, because they're making a huge pizza. I can't make a huge pizza because my little oven won't let me. So what I'm going to do is proceed to cut out the shape using a plate. Or actually, I have another idea. I'm going to cut this out using something else. I'll be right back. See that? That is going to be the perfect size for a mini pizza. So when I say it's a mini pizza, that's exactly what it's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. Hopefully it doesn't stick. No, it doesn't. Beautiful. It's going to be reasonably thick. Now, there we go. Take that off. And I'll be throwing that away shortly. Now, I'm going to be using that as a template. Use a little bread and butter knife. cut around the edge, just to give it a nice edge and a nice shape. Trying to keep it even shape if I can. Take that off. Hopefully it doesn't stick. I should have greased it first. Okay, it didn't stick. Yes, I'm so glad about that. Alright, so I'm going to move that over here. And what I'm going to be doing is grabbing a spatula and then taking that off. I'll move all this out of the way, so we don't want to have that get caught up with it. What we're going to do is I'm going to get this, I'm going to put this inside here underneath. I'm going to loosen that up a little bit by little bit so as we don't lose the shape. And then I'm going to be placing that, blast. Trying very carefully not to have that happen, which it did happen. Off. Yeah, well, hey, life happens. And take that off, and we're going to be placing that onto.
I'm pretty sure you can repair it.
Oh, we can recover that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto this here. Once I grease this up as well, put some greaseproof paper. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save myself all that hassle. I'm going to put this straight greaseproof paper, everything straight onto here. But I'm going to fix up that base first. Fix up that base so as it's at least repaired. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into this tray here. And then maybe I'll cut this piece of paper off a little bit so as to make it easier. And then we're going to continue on from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this and pop it straight into the oven. And that is set at 200 degrees Celsius. And that is 390 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm just going to get this, pop it straight in here, middle rack. And we'll leave that there for about 10 minutes. The very first thing we need to do is make sure we clean up as we go. Clean up in aisle keto capers, clean up in aisle keto capers. Clean up in aisle keto capers, clean up in aisle keto capers. Okay, it is ready. So what we're going to be doing is I better get a board out. Okay, so I'm going to just get that board out so as to protect my surface of my bench.
Very fancy board.
And then I'm going to get that out. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It looks really good so far. I don't want to overcook it because I don't want to be going too long. Okay, so I'm just going to take this out and show you what the base looks like so far. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. Okay, so it's probably a little bit overcooked on this because I left it in a few seconds too long. But that's okay. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to just try and peel this off, and here we go. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of paper off and I'm going to move this to the side while I add the other ingredients. Alright, so now the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to grab a bowl and I'm going to be putting some of my tomato paste into the bowl, and then I'm going to add some Italian herbs and spices with that tomato paste, because let's face it, you can't have pizza without tomato paste. Okay, so you can't have pizza without tomato paste. So I'm just going to get this and there we are. Put that straight into the bowl and mix a lot of the, there we are. Mix a heck of a lot of the Italian herbs and spices. Alright, so I'm going to put a lot of that in there. I'm going to mix that through. There we go. Then once we have mixed that through, I'll then spread that over there, and then we will continue with our pizza. We're going to go like this, we're going to mix it through. So I'm just going to spread this over, I'm going to put it in the center and spread it around I have slightly overcooked this, so hopefully we can do a better job with the next one. But anyway, I'm going to be making one for me and one for my darling son. He's very happy about receiving that. My darling boy, who happens to be the one on the camera right now, he is helping me out. So I will make 2 pizzas up. Might make his with pineapple, ham and pineapple. But I'm going to be doing mozzarella with mine. It's just not a pizza without cheese. So let's just add this to it. We'll just put it in there long enough to melt the cheese and create an awesome looking pizza. Now, I'm not going to bother putting a piece of paper on this. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Okay. I am going to cut up some olives and pop that in there. And then I'm going to be making sure that it is lovely. Alright, that will do for the moment. It doesn't have to be overly perfect. Take these salami pieces out. We'll just put them around the pizza the best we can. There's only 4 pieces of salami. That's okay. And we'll add a little bit more cheese just to top it off. There we go, as I like a little bit more cheese. And we'll chuck that back in the oven. I'll turn the oven back on. And then we can get started. Okay, that's not too hot, which is good. Especially considering I just grabbed it with my bare hands. Note to self, don't pick up hot stuff with bare hands. Safety first, you know? Something that I wasn't doing just then. That's the safety tip for keto capers today. Don't pick up things with bare hands that are likely to burn you. So anyway, let's pop this in here and hopefully in about 5 minutes time that will be ready. Okay, so what I'm planning on doing is cutting this for my young man who has been helping me out with the camera. It's his first time ever using the camera, so I think he didn't do too bad a job.
Hi.
So he's going to help me out, and I'm going to give him this pizza and he can try it out and let me know what he thinks of it. Okay, so that's, oops daisy. Now we'll try one that's got a piece on it. There you go. Try this piece. There we go. Have that one. It's a bit hot, so be careful. Let me try a piece out as well, and we'll try what it's like. Okay, what's your verdict, Elijah? What's nodding your head at me?
It certainly tastes like pizza.
The base tastes just like pizza. It doesn't have that cauliflower flavour to it. So what you're saying is it tastes just like a regular pizza base?
Yeah, pretty much.
How good is that?
Very.
Okay, so that tastes just like a regular pizza base. Okay, cool. So we're going to share this. Right, now what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be doing some star jumps. So if you're going to be doing some sort of fitness regime, it's good to make sure you include exercise while you're doing that. So I thought I'd include that in the videos. Alright guys, let's go. I'm going to start off doing some stretches. Now remember, take it easy, don't go too hard on yourself, because if you haven't done exercises for a long time, it could be strenuous. And I'm no exercise expert, so don't take what I say as gospel, because I just know what I know from past experience. So just take it easy and don't overdo it. That's all I can say, because I'm no expert, okay? So I'll pinpoint that out to you right now. Okay, so let's get started. We'll do some stretches to start off with. Alright, next one. Okay, we'll go down to the floor. We'll go to the front and go down and touch your toes. We'll do the best we can. Alright. So just stretch. There's nothing, it doesn't have to be fast. Don't jerk around. Just take it easy. Alright, now just maneuver our shoulders around a bit. Do the front as well. I'm just going to be going through some basic stuff right now. Alright, now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some star jumps. Okay, so start off with feet together, and as you bring your arms out, you bring your legs out at the same time, so it becomes like a star, like that, and then you bring it back in. So all we have to do is just do that, so let's do this. Alright, go. Okay, that's enough for the moment. Don't want to overdo it. So let's now get down and do some sit-ups. We're going to be starting off with doing a few sit-ups. Now I'm going to try and do about 10. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. Just be aware I don't exercise that often. And I'm going to be doing it far more often now that I'm doing this channel. Alright, let's do this. Alright, 1. It's been a long time since I've done that. Oh gosh. Alright. Now, let's go and do some push-ups, and I'm going to be doing a bit of a cheats way. I'm going to be doing it with my knees on the ground. Not like days gone by where I used to stretch my whole body out and just do push-ups normally. I'm going to cheat. Alright, that's at 10. Let's now go and do some more star jumps, and then that'll be it. Now let's do those 10 more star jumps, and then we can do a little bit of jogging on the spot, and then that'll be it for the night. Alright guys, let's go. Alright, and we can just run on the spot for a little bit, and that will be it for tonight. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye.